This is a Korean chicken rice bowl. There's 579 calories and 46 grams of protein. It's incredibly easy to make, and there's a few different ways you can cook it as well to make your life easier, and it's great for storing. Starting off, we're going to be making a Korean cucumber salad. We're going to need 1 Continental cucumber. Slice off both ends, and then you can slice this however you like. You can also peel it and shave it into those nice thin ribbons. I like to slice these into nice thick pieces. I feel like you just get a better crunch on them, and they look better as well. But like I said, you can cut this any way you like. In total, we're going to need 7 cloves of freshly peeled garlic and 10 grams or 0.3 ounces of peeled ginger. Run all of these along a microplane to create a paste. We're going to separate the 2 cloves and use this for the cucumber salad. And then with the remaining 5 cloves and that ginger, this is going to be used for our chicken, so just make sure you separate them. Now, an optional ingredient is 1 spring onion or scallion. You don't have to go out and buy a whole bunch just to use one. If you have them lying around, I do recommend using them. Separate the stem from the root, and then with that root, we're going to thinly slice into small rounds. And with the stem, this can be used as a garnish, so you can slice it in thin rounds as well, or you can slice it on an angle to get that nice bit of presentation. Now, to our chopped cucumbers, add 1 tablespoon or 20 grams of gochujang spice paste, the 2 cloves of grated garlic, 2 teaspoons or 10 milliliters of low sodium soy sauce, 2 teaspoons or 10 milliliters of rice wine vinegar, 1 teaspoon or 5 milliliters of toasted sesame oil, half a teaspoon or 2 grams of gochujang or just regular chili flakes, or you can leave it out altogether, and then that spring onion root that we chopped up before. Season to taste with a little bit of salt, don't go too overboard because of the sodium in the soy sauce, as well as a little bit of ground white pepper. Then mix this all together, make sure everything's combined, that garlic's broken up, and just make sure none of the cucumbers are stuck together as well, and you should have something that looks like this that we can place in the fridge until we're ready to serve. In another bowl, we're going to add 1/4 cup or 60 milliliters of low sodium soy sauce to 1 kilo or 2.2 pounds of boneless and skinless chicken thigh, 1/4 cup or 60 grams of gochujang Korean spice paste, 1.5 tablespoons or 30 grams of Sriracha sauce, 2 teaspoons or 10 milliliters of toasted sesame oil, and add in the garlic and ginger paste that we did before. Season to taste with a little bit of ground white pepper. No need to add salt for this one. You can if you wanted to, but it doesn't need it. And then mix it all around. Make sure everything's combined. Again, making sure that garlic and ginger is broken up. And you can let this marinate for up to 48 hours, or you can just use it straight away. Now onto a baking tray lined with parchment paper, add a small spray of cooking oil, then add that chicken all over the top. Make sure you scrape the bowl out and add on any remaining marinade that may be left in there. And I'm cooking these in the oven, but you can do this in an air fryer, and all of the cooking instructions are listed in the link in the description. However, we are going to cook this for about 20 to 22 minutes. In the meantime, add 300 grams or 10.5 ounces of washed jasmine rice to the saucepan, along with 500 milliliters or 2 cups of cold water, a little pinch of salt, and then place this over a high heat. Give it a mix to prevent clumping, and then bring this to a boil. And when it is at a boil, place on a lid, reduce the heat to low, and cook this for 12 minutes undisturbed. After 12 minutes, turn it off the heat and leave the lid on for a final 4. Then remove that lid, and I'm adding 2 teaspoons of black sesame seeds here. That is completely optional, and I haven't actually included it into the macros. But mix this all together with a fork or a spatula, and what you'll have is this nice soft fluffy jasmine rice. Now after about 22 minutes, our chicken is perfectly cooked. It's nice and juicy and has that beautiful color. Let it sit for about 5 minutes for the juices to redistribute and for it to slightly cool down. Then we can start chopping this up. You can leave these whole, but chopping them up is going to make them a lot easier to eat. And you can slice them or dice them, and I prefer to dice them because it's just bite-sized pieces. When you have all of that done, we can start portioning up. This is 5 750 milliliter meal prep containers. I have a link for them in the description if you're interested. I like to place the rice on one side and then the chicken in the middle. Make sure you add over any remaining marinade or juices left on the pan. And on the opposite side, we can add over that Korean cucumber salad, which you don't have to add now. You can add when you've reheated them. Garnish with that little bit of spring onion or scallion that we had left over, and I'm hitting them up with a little bit more black sesame seeds, which is of course optional. And what we're left with is this beautiful, soft, fluffy rice, that chicken that has so much umami flavor, and then that really nice, crisp cucumber salad. As always, this right here is the macros for a single portion, as well as the serving size. Now these will last 4 days in the fridge. Just make sure you let them cool down for about 15 to 20 minutes or so before you place on the lids, and then you can also put them in the freezer for up to 4 months. With all said and done, there's one thing left to do, and that is we can then dig in. The combination of these three go really well. You've got the freshness, the texture, the chili, and the acidity from the cucumbers, and then you've got that chicken packed with umami. It's nice and juicy, and the rice just soaks it all up. There's a few different ways you can cook this, and of course you don't have to store the cucumbers when you're doing it. You can serve them separately. They'll last 4 days in the fridge as well. But definitely do try this yourself.